Solis playing red-white aggro. You see the other teammates there, Tony Lee, Nathan Monses, and then I've got Eddie Leza and Steven Long.
Not for nothing, but I think this matchup is going to be very challenging for Edward Solis' red-white aggro deck. We're talking 4 main deck copies of Get to Deathborn, 3 main deck copies of Sweltering Suns, a lot of removal. Tetsamok is problematic. You know, this is the sort of deck you would want to square off against if you were playing red-black aggro.
It's time for beatdowns right away.
Haste.
I think is that Fanatical Firebrand?
Oh yeah, that has haste. Yeah. Keyword check.
That's a keyword. Haste is a keyword. There's a swamp there from Jason Cornell off of the Evolving Wilds.
A descendant of Mog Fanatic.
But haste.
I think it's a much better design because you have to choose something. It's not just in play sitting there waiting for your opponent. You either get to attack or you get to ping, but not both.
1/1 haste. Sacrifice. Tap sacrifice. It deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Yeah, it is a descendant then.
Yeah.
I like that it's a Goblin Pirate too. Very angry.
Oh yeah.
Little Goblin Pirate. Earthshaker Kenra. That creature.
Haste. Keyword check.
Haste. We're haste flooded. Is that what we are? Looks like a treasure map on turn 2 there from Jason Cornell. He's going to scry on the upkeep. Controls draw step. Put a counter on that treasure map.
Yeah, looks like his hand right now, no land, so really digging. And obviously Solis' deck not going to give him all the time in the world to power his way out of missing some early land drops.
Well, he found a land there off the scry, so happy. Play that swamp. Any big follow-up? Nope, just going to pass that turn back for now. Let's go back over to Solis. What other fun stuff can we do here? Another Earthshaker Kenra, sure. There's a Chef at Dunes, going to take 1 off of the Dunes.
The Dunes.
Down to 19. You're lively this morning, I like it. Okay.
Up on the screen.
Okay.
This is a very particular card.
This is the path? This is the path to metal? All right, let's take a look at path to metal. This is kind of the namesake
So you
card.
gotta attack with, we gotta attack with 2 creatures here with the particular keywords to get this flipped over.
So here's a Braid that's going to take care of Earthshaker Kenra. Here's an attack for 1.
Yeah, but the Firebrand doesn't care about that.
No, not at all. Another treasure map activation on upkeep. We will take a look at Path to Metal here. It is a red and white legendary enchantment. When Path to Metal enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each creature that doesn't have First Strike, Double Strike, Vigilance, or Haste. Those creatures have haste, so no damage dealt. Whenever you attack with it, it'll transform into the Metzali Tower of Triumph, which you can add a mana. And then there are some activated abilities. We'll get to that when it transforms.
I think the Fanatical Firebrand was just sweltering Suns, which I believe is a first. Do you think Sweltering Suns destroying only Fanatical Firebrand, this is the first time that's occurred in Magic? Like of every game played of Magic?
Maybe.
I think that might be a
this is the first?
Quite possibly.
Maybe Sweltering Suns will have to try to kill just an on-crop crasher too. Maybe.
Maybe.
Another treasure map activation. That's 3 counters on the map.
So Path to Metal, I think, is interesting in this matchup because it doesn't really do anything against Cornell's deck when you cast it. And it's not trivial to get it flipped over because Cornell is playing with so much removal. But it is so good if Solis can actually get it to flip. That I think that a lot of the game is just going to come down to whether or not Solis can get that card turned over.
Well, Treasure Cove is transformed. That's why you see 3 treasure tokens on the battlefield. And what this does is a lot, honestly. It allows Jason to actually accelerate into a large threat, like the Chandra, and also allow him to draw cards over the course of the game as well. And
it's mana fixing for his deck that has some pretty particular mana demands.
Absolutely. So here's Chandra Torch of Defiance. That, of course, on 4 counters is going to go down to 1, take care of on-crop crasher, so that's going to go straight to the graveyard. Solis will draw now, and now he's got to figure out what he's going to do.
This would be a good spot for Fanatical Firebrand.
You and this Goblin Pirate, huh?
It's a charming design.
It's a nice design, actually.
It is. Raging Goblin is an all-time beloved design relative to power level.
Sure.
And you know it's a good way to, what a good creature type is to add a Goblin for some charm?
Pirate.
Pirate.
Yeah. How about, is this Earthshaker Kenra okay? I know it's not the Firebrand,
no,
but...
Yeah, but yeah, this one's a little bit played out. I've seen this one before.
Oh, okay. You're difficult to impress now. I understand. Earthshaker Kenra will take care of Chandra, Torch of Defiance. We're going to head back over to Jason Cornell. Jason with plenty of mana to work with now. He's got his Treasure Cove. Got a couple treasures he can sacrifice to draw cards if he'd like.
And there's a really, you can feel the burden on Cornell to really answer everything because he knows Path to Metal getting flipped over is really bad news.
Mm-hmm. There's Gifted Aetherborn. And now... Now we're going to head back over to Edward. There's Lightning Strike. Aetherborn down. In for 2. All right, he's going to sack a treasure to draw a card first. See if he finds a removal spell here or not. Nope, just going to take that damage. Looks like he'll fall down to 10. And Solis will just pass the turn back. Solis is in a little bit of difficulty here. There's just one spell per turn. Having some mana issues, it appears. That's okay.
Well, the thing about one spell per turn is it's not so bad if all your spells are really good.
True.
And Cornell's spells are all very good in this matchup.
Yeah, he's fine with this.
Something you're also seeing play out so far here is, and I think this is good information to have going forward, just the amount of mana fixing available to allied color decks like red-black is a lot better than the mana fixing to the enemy color decks. The mana base that Solis is working with here, 11 mountains, 4 plains, 4 Inspiring Vantage, 3 Sheffet Dunes. Not a good sounding mana base. Over here we have Dragon Skull Summit and Canyon Slough as available dual lands.
Evolving Wilds as well.
Yep.
And the mana appears to be good enough for Cornell that he's even able to play cards like Field of Ruin and Scavenging Grounds.
Yep.
Another treasure map there for Jason Cornell after attack with Glorybringer. Here's Chandra. Solis was begging for another red source, so he'll use Chandra to take care of the Glorybringer. Now pass the turn back, so we'll go back over to Jason Cornell, who's going to scry with the map. 1 counter on it. I kind of dig treasure map too.
Oh, it's perfect for this kind of deck.
Yeah.
Especially when you're playing with a lot of removal spells, there's a lot of turns where you're just like not doing anything. And if your opponent's sitting back and drawing cards, it's really bad for you. Treasure map gives you a thing to do and a way to just keep up in the card economy battle if your removal spells really don't line up the right way game 1.
A little bit of acceleration too. There's a lot to like about that card.
Yeah.
One of my cool too. It's like completing a quest.
One of my favorite designs from Ixalan. I think it's a masterpiece.
Let's go over to Jason Cornell now. That was on the end step of Edward Solis' turn. He'll activate his map again. Now it's time to draw. Yeah. Swamp. Manas. Chandras, of which he plays 4, plus it, to take care of the other Chandra, revealing Evolving Wilds. Back to Edward Solis. He's got a Shock and a Lightning Strike in hand. Looks like another Shock now, too. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. I can go upstairs.
Yep, still some hope of being able to get this done through the back door. If he spends his resources killing this Chandra, I think he's beat, though.
I don't think you can kill Chandra at this point. How are you beating the treasure map?
Right. How are you beating all of his removal spells? You know, what do you think is in his hand at this point? I think if you're in Solis' position, and also he's got he has some haste creatures in his graveyard he can flash back that might be able to connect. I think you just got to hope to get lucky in this spot. I don't think you can spend resources fighting over Chandra.
So either your life total is high enough, and you've got some time to work with in regards to draw steps.
Yeah, you got 7 points in your hand and a lot of haste in your deck, plus more lightning strikes. That might be good enough.
Yeah.
It might not work, but I think that if you just spend a lightning strike and a shock on Chandra, and Cornell's at 10 with a Chandra in play and turning over this treasure map, I just don't know what sequence of draws at that point can beat him.
Yeah, I think you have to draw 2 lands. If you're Solis, you've got 2 Earthshaker Kenras in your graveyard. That's 4 damage, and then hopefully the burn spells will clean it up.
Or
of course, that assumes that Earthshaker will connect, but you got to try.
And there's a chance that, you know, you draw an on-crop Crasher and you randomly can't kill it. You know, there's other ways that it could go down.
We got another Treasure Cove. That means we got 3 more treasures. Jason Cornell will draw. Chandra's going up. Looks like this time for red mana. All right, there's Rekindling Phoenix.
Kind of the perfect threat card for a deck like Cornell's.
Yep. Lightning Strike you.
Yes.
Shock you.
Yes.
You're at 5.
This has been an exciting game.
Yeah, we have a new plan. Drew Sheffit Dunes. The Dunes.
Have you considered the Dunes?
Yes. Yes, I have. Cornell will sacrifice a treasure to draw a card via the Treasure Cove. He's going to keep right on untapping. You see his teammate there, Nathaniel, getting a good look, seeing how his buddy's doing. Nathaniel, unfortunately for him, he's down a game with Stephen Long. Grixis Shadow won game number 1 over Grixis Shadow Fiend. Fiend of the Kiln variety. You see his teammate trying to help him out a little bit here. Make sure you don't get burned out, teammate.
Yeah, Solis made his intentions very clear on the previous turn. So,
there's a swamp.
how does Cornell go about protecting himself?
There's a Glorybringer.
Mana through the Chandra, so we're looking at 2 turns now.
And mana available to cast a spell. The one that's on the top of my head is Vraska's Contempt.
Just as a gain 2.
Yep. 3 copies in his deck. Not sure if there's a copy in his hand, but he has seen a lot of cards this game. So it wouldn't surprise you, shock you. Might be time to respond.
Well, you don't want to lose your lose your clock here. It's part of it too.
You kill your own Chandra.
Oh yeah, and then you're left with 8. That's right. I was so hung up on the creatures.
Yes. On-crop Crasher. Shoulder Shrug. I would be truly shocked if he did not have a removal spell in his heavy removal spell deck. All right, sacrifice that to draw a card. He drew a copy of Gifted Aetherborn. Fatal Push will work. With Revolt, because the treasure.
It's combo.
You get it.
Cross-block synergies.
You get it.
New cards.
Jason Cornell going to win game number 1 here over Edward Solis. Red-black mid-range. Up a game here over the red-white aggro deck with Path to Metal. We will watch more of this and the rest of this match in just a moment. But first, a few words from our sponsors.
Go.
Welcome back to the Jason Cornell versus Edward Solis show. We've got red-black mid-range, red-white aggro, brand new decks for standard. And as these players sideboard, we are going to take a look at the sideboards. I'm going to start with Edward Solis, who's got 3 Abrades, 3 Direfleet Daredevil. That's a new one I know a lot of people are trying to incorporate. 3 Rekindling Phoenix of his own. He just lost to one on the other side of the table. 2 Glorybringer, 2 Ixalan's Binding, another copy of Chandra Torch of Defiance, and a Scavenger Grounds.
So he's got to hang around, I think, play a much later game. I think you need cards like Chandra, the 2 Glorybringers, the 3 Rekindling Phoenixes. I could be taught into the Abrades. They're a little bit narrow, but Gifted Aetherborn and Treasure Map, maybe that's enough. The Direfleet Daredevil matches up okay in a game that goes long. It's complicated. We should talk about Path to Metal a little bit after we get done with Cornell's side, but that to me is the swing card of the matchup.
Well, we're going to go to Cornell's side, who's got 4 Glint-Sleeve Siphoner, been a popular card this week, and along with 4 Duress, 2 Gonti Lord of Luxury, 2 Lost Legacy, and Angrath, the Flame Chain, the brand new Planeswalker, and Arguel's Blood Fast, and Hour of Devastation.
Not surprising, most of Cornell's sideboard is devoted to being control decks because he has so much creature removal. I think he's going to sideboard very light here. Maybe the Hour of Devastation, maybe the Angar, but his sideboard's in his main deck, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, for this matchup.
Yeah, exactly.
He's definitely, what we like to call pre-sideboard.
Pre-sideboarded.
Yeah.
So what's interesting to me about Path to Metal, I don't really know what you do with it here. It doesn't really do anything, and it's hard to flip. But if it flips, it's incredible. Now, do you say, if I just have a good streamlined curve and I don't have these dead draws, I'm in a much better spot. You saw game 1, he couldn't get Path to Metal flipped over. He had one on the battlefield, one on his hand. The other side of it is this matchup's really bad, and I need to get a little bit lucky. And Path to Metal is the type of card that does enough heavy lifting if I can get it to flip over that it gives me a shot of getting lucky. I don't know. My approach is typically just don't have the dead cards and try to win with a good curve and some range. But it's possible this is so bad that you have to get a little bit lucky. And particularly on the play, being able to play it on 2 and flip it on 3 is a lot easier than doing it on the draw. So I'm curious to see what Solis does here. I would not have it in my deck on the draw, almost certainly, in this kind of matchup. On the play, you might be able to talk me into it.
And it'll let you steal one if you do flip it.
Right.
Because you'll be given enough time to do your thing.
It's just, Cornell, he plays with very few creatures. It's hard for him to attack full stop if you get that card flipped over. And if he's not attacking you, then you're able to just dome him out of the game. That's really appealing. But how likely is that to happen if Cornell has any sort of real draw? It's really challenging. So I'm really interested to see what Solis' approach is here.
Take a look at the scoreboard here very quickly. Edward Leza with Death and Taxes up a game here over Tony Lay, who's playing Maverick Leovold. You got Stephen Long up a game with his Grixis Shadow deck against Nathan Monses, who is playing Grixis Shadow Fiend. And then both these players here, Edward Solis and Jason Cornell, we saw their first game. Cornell did win that. They're both taking a mulligan, which is a great time to talk about the StarCityGames.com weekly sale, Patrick. You can get up to 79% off of select singles.
Well, you can head over
Supplies,
to go.starcitygames.com/weekly sale. Go check it out every Monday, 11 o'clock Eastern time. There's a new sale, so make sure you're heading back to the website at least once a week to see what the sale is. Right now, up to 75% off select supplies, sleeves, play mats, deck boxes, binders. Go check it out. Go.starcitygames.com/weekly sale.
All right, 6 cards apiece here for each player.
Now with Solis on 5.
Yeah, he's not happy, and this is already tough for him.
Yes.
So it's not getting any easier.
This matchup, these kind of matchups are always uphill sledding to begin with. Playing against removal, sweepers, card advantage, a whole lot of cards that control the board when you're trying to get it done with maybe not the highest quality threats, let's call it.
That's putting it nicely. They're all pieced to a larger puzzle.
Some ragtag, creature dash goblin pirates.
All right, Mr. Solis. Looks like he is going to keep his 5, scry the top card to the bottom. It's a mountain and a pass. Edward's going to have to run pretty good here, I would say. Evolving Wilds for Jason. There's a Plains for Edward. We have our first match results in this match. Stephen Long with normalized Grixis Death Shadow. Going to take care of Nathaniel Monses, playing his brew. Grixis Shadow Fiend with Kiln Fiend, Mutagenic Gross, and a whole bunch of Teamer Battle Rages. We've got the team of Leza, Strong, and Solis currently up a match. A Swamp into a Dragon Skull Summit, and now a Gifted Aetherborn is going to get killed by a Lightning Strike very quickly. Back over to Edward Solis we go. Picked up a copy of On-Crop Crasher, does not have the third land. He'll put his hand down because he doesn't have much to do with it. Mountain here for Jason. There's a treasure map, something we saw be very effective for him in game number 2. Plains off the top, will allow On-Crop Crasher to come on in, no exert necessary. And Cornell's going to fall down to 17. He'll take the opportunity to activate the treasure map, though. That means he'll scry. Solis is rubbing his hands again. Maybe he's cold.
I heard rumors from Tanning Grace yesterday that the feature match area is a little chilly, and that's why he knocked his deck over. So lack of personal accountability.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. It's chilly, so that's why all my cards went everywhere. That's a first. Even for me, that's
I'm not,
first.
you know.
You're not what?
I'm making no claims about the accuracy of. I'm just saying, I'm relaying the message. Solis with the look of a man with an excellent draw step.
Here's an attack for 3. That's dead. I can only imagine. The chef at Dunes. He needed to. I think he needed another red source. He is not happy.
Yeah, I get, you know, your deck's trying to have red on 1 and red white early, and maybe you can't afford Evolving Wilds. Solis's mana is bad.
It's
horrible. It is bad in the Mercadia Mask block constructed sense.
And trust me, that's bad.
That is bad.
That's bad.
Ben Rubin's deck from the Block Pro Tour, an all-time classic mana base.
What did that have?
I believe it was 11 plain, 10 forest, 1 Rashad import.
Ooh.
He said that he lost to Rashad import a lot in that tournament.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Or 12, 11, 1 port.
Boy,
he could afford. I know he could afford 1 port.
That's a tough road to hoe. That's what that is. Treasure map is going to transform. 3 treasures on the way.
All right. Well,
had it.
There we go. Rally time.
Let me guess. Chandra.
Yeah.
A little late. Oh, Rekindling Phoenix. Sure. Pass the turn back. It's a good magic card. Might still be able to win with that magic card. It's not over yet. Don't give up. Never surrender.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. That is an expression that has never made any sense to me.
Okay. I can't sell you on that one?
No. No.
Noted.
No.
I tried.
That makes no sense.
I tried. Duress took care of Chandra. Don't. Ignore what I said then. Yeah, just.
Counter argument. Go do something else with your time.
Here comes Rekindling Phoenix. Is that going to die? How's that going to die? It appears to be dying. Is it Chandra?
Well, yeah, it's a Chandra activation,
Okay,
and I think they're looking for a Phoenix token.
All right.
Elemental, sorry.
We have one. What is this? Glorybringer.
Yep.
Okay, that's dead forever.
Gonna shoot your egg.
See, look at all the work you had to put in to kill that thing. 2 resources.
Right.
Chandra?
That was great.
And Exerted Glorybringer. That's why I love that card. That's why I think that card's awesome.
But he did appear to have resources to spare.
Well, yeah. Well, how you going to kill this one?
Oh.
What about that?
Oh.
And there's Mountain, too. It's your turn. Thanks.
Exerted.
Yeah, keep that tapped.
He's tired.
There you go. Yeah.
Sleeping.
Glorybringer did a lot of work last turn.
Glorybringer hitting snooze on the alarm right now.
No thank you.
A little bit.
No thank you.
Worked a full shift.
Me and Glorybringer have a lot in common. I think snooze is a bad innovation on the alarm. I think it's really not a good idea. Sweltering Suns, huh?
That might play here.
That kills the first half. I guess, what, Scavenging Grounds takes care of the rest? Okay. Well.
That is nice. These are some, this is, I mean, I know Solis is on 5 cards, and, you know, it's a tough matchup. These are some good interactions. This is some rich gameplay we're witnessing right now.
Well, I think Edward, he's got the elemental left.
Right.
Combine that with the dunes.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Now we're really talking.
Just get in his kitchen.
Have you considered that?
Yeah. That is an interaction I would not have guessed.
I'm on my game this morning. Elemental plus dunes.
Dunes plus Phoenix Ashes.
Your play. Just a big dirt area. They're going to squat up. Maybe a question here for a judge.
Yeah, this
Jason.
The elemental token with no Phoenix in the graveyard. I'm sure there's some curious.
Yeah. How does this work? Which is an interesting little question. Yeah, they're curious about if the token stays or goes. Let it hang out.
It is quite literally not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
let it stay.
It's altering signs. Well, it's gone forever now. Yeah, it's not hurting anyone. It's dead now. What else we got here? All right, just gonna pass the turn back. Solis is gonna need a handful of really good draw steps. Step 1 is not unearthing. Embalming. Eternalizing. There we are. I found it. Earthshaker Kenra. Gonna try to kill Chandra. As a save, Vraska's Contempt, perhaps. We should definitely get out the right thing, so when he kills it, none of this matters. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for making me go through all that work.
Yeah.
Back to Jason Cornell. Edward's having a heck of a time in the future match area today. Heck of a time. Plus Chandra. Evolving Wilds. You take 2. Sacrifice a treasure. Draw a card. Another copy of Sweltering Suns. Very good card against Edward's deck. Glorybringer comes across for 4. Solis down to 6. Gifted Aetherborn. Canyon Slew. Solis will draw. He's all done. Jason Cornell is going to win this game and match over Edward Solis. 2-0. Red-black mid-range will take care of red-white aggro. The cards unkind for Edward Solis early on this morning. For the team of Leza, Monses, and Cornell, we are all tied up here, which means we got to move over to Legacy and watch Maverick Leovold against Death and Taxes. That's a grindy one.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's going to be a grindy little match here. So we're going to work on moving that way here in just a moment between Tony Lay and Edward Leza. Get some life totals updated. Jump over to the match, and you see the teammates are going to squat up here very quickly. Jason Cornell ran over there. I don't even know if he de-sideboarded. He wants to help his teammates because they are 7-1-1, are the team of Lay, Monses, and Cornell, and they are very much in top 8 contention early on this morning, P. Sully.
Yes, good start, and for Solis, you know, not the most cooperative draws, but I think that matchup very tough, even under the best of circumstances.
Live look in. Here we go. Let's see if I can rattle this off. Deathrite Shaman, Scavenging Ooze, Knight of the Reliquary, Savannah Karakas, Tropical Island Bayou, couple of lands looks like have been exiled from the graveyard potentially. On the other side of things here for Leza, he's got a Rishadan Port, Karakas, 3 plains. I've got a Gideon ally of Zendikar along with a couple Gideon tokens, a Mother of Runes that appears to be active, and various cards in the graveyard like Swords of Plowshares, Council's Judgment, and Umezawa's Jite. So we'll see exactly where this game is going. This is a very Death and Taxes Maverick battlefield. Here's a Flicker Wisp, sure. See what this is going to target. Knight of the Reliquary. Okay. Knight ally token. Scavenging Ooze gonna block. I assume that Deathrite is active and stuff. This is great. I'm gonna block with my Scavenging Ooze. He keeps pushing it forward. Maybe his teammates don't want him to. Maybe his teammates just want him to take 2. Okay. He's not blocking. Yep. That didn't look great. That didn't look great. All right. Now the Reliquary is back from the Flicker Wisp. Let's go back over to Tony. It's early here in Dallas.
This is a tough board to follow even under the best of circumstances.
Yeah. It's early on this morning. That's the most.
The resolution there was eventually no blocks.
Yeah. That was the most I'm blocking, not block I've ever seen. Yeah. There we go. There's some Knight allies. Gideon, a cross-format superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Not just for standard anymore.
Combo with Mother Runes also.
Is that true?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can use it to alpha past.
That's true. That's true. You can give it protection from a color. Mother Rune, great with creatures.
Yes, typically. And against creatures and spells.
Yes, that too. How do we feel about a Mother of Runes reprint?
It would be so ruinous in anything resembling what a standard format should look like.
Yes. So yes. So you're with me?
I'm not.
Okay. I believe an aggressive white deck could use a little help.
The only reason that it seemed remotely reasonable at any point was because it appeared in the same block with Grim Monolith and, and Yawgmoth's Will. So playing with creatures and creature removal wasn't really a thing you were doing.
Knight of the Reliquary number 2 is going to show up. You saw the first one try to kill Gideon. Failed, thanks to the Knight ally, protecting Gideon. Rashadan Port will tap down Karakas.
Yeah, that could free up Gideon as attacker if he's feeling so inclined.
We're going to go back over to Eddie.
Leza with an advantage in the air as well right now. My teammate asked me to help them in this game. I would say I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's good.
You have to figure this out on your own.
Great camaraderie. I can't wait to team with you for an event at some point.
Do you think I'm supposed to use my Gideon to... I'm going away from this.
Yeah.
If you want to play with these cards, the burden's on you to figure out the plays.
What do you want from Starbucks, teammate?
Right.
I'm out of here. Well, this is the easy part. Attack with a flying creature.
Yeah.
It's super easy.
You only have the one flyer. Go ahead and attack with it. That's great. Good stuff. No arguments here.
We will confirm what Phyrexian Revoker is naming here. And it's going to go with Knight of the Reliquary. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
It's a good choice. Here's a Flicker Wisp.
Oh, going off.
Target Flicker Wisp.
He's going off.
Going off here. End step. Flicker Wisp is going to come back. There will be a Flicker Wisp trigger. Oh, yeah. This is...
No one is clear on how this resolves.
Yeah, this is a combo if I've ever seen one.
Eddie, I'm never teaming with you again.
All right, this one's back. There we go. It's not your land zone on tap. It's not a time walk.
It's a lot of really particular interactions right now.
It's not a Seedborn Muse. And now what are we going to do?
You know we had the cards for Sneak and Show.
No, I want to do this. This deck beats Sneak and Show. All right, back over to Tony now. Big draw step for Tony as he is facing down flyers that are very difficult to kill. That is a good Magic card, sort of.
Well, yes. I mean, it's not.
I said sort of on purpose.
Yeah. Mother Rune's got that checked.
That's right. But Mother Rune's only gives protection to a creature. It's good against all things.
Right.
It's good against all things.
Well, this leaves. Does this leave Lee just dead on the table because he can't do anything with the Jitte this turn, and Leza can simply go, all right, animate Gideon, give it pro green, attack it with Gideon, my flyers.
We'll see if Eddie Leza sees it,
or if that's even true.
Yeah, that too.
Good questions all around.
A lot of questions.
Remember, the Night of the Reliquary can't be activated; it's shut down by the Revoker right now. So even if Lee had a second copy of Caracas in the deck, that doesn't work around this.
Scavenging Ooze doesn't appear to have any creatures to remove from the graveyard. I don't even, there might be a fetch land in the graveyard. I think
I see a. I don't even know.
Yeah, you see a what? I'll give you $1 million if you can name that card.
Is that Verdant Catacombs?
Probably not.
I have no idea.
Probably not.
It's not important.
Yeah. It is not important.
It is not important.
It's Verdant Catacombs.
Whew, got it.
Lucky.
So the short of this is Lee has no good attacks because of Mother Runes and also has no good blocks because of Mother Runes. But we will see how Lee wants to proceed here.
Thanks a lot, Mother Runes. Big jerk. We are deep in the tank about where to equip this Jitte.
I gotta say.
Yes, please. Say it, whatever it is.
All four of the people not playing in this match, helping out their teammates right now, are wired very differently than I am.
Oh, what do we have here?
Oh, there we go.
Hey, Swords of Plowshares.
There we go.
Or Path to Exile, excuse me.
So you can give the Mother Runes protection from white to save it, but then it's actually open season for the Umezawa's Jitte.
So you got to give one of your creatures pro white, I think.
Not necessarily. You might want to live through the hit. I don't know. But I doubt it.
I think the Night of the Reliquary is only a 2/2.
That is true.
Not even particularly good.
But the one Jitte hit, then you lose both your Flicker Wisps.
Yeah, and you want both of those.
Yeah.
That's how you're winning the game.
This is really close.
Also, I kind of like the idea of... Oh, he's only got 2 blockers? Well, and that Reliquary is going to come back, so 3 blockers?
Yeah, what can you do with an emblem?
That's what I want to know.
Is the question that I have. So if you have an emblem, assuming that you don't take the Jitte hit, you get 8 from your Flicker Wisps, and you have not enough. There's 3 attackers with 3 blockers on the ground.
Oh, yeah, that Mother of Runes is going to have to go. There's a Plains. Yeah, so Knight's going to come back.
Okay.
3 blockers on the ground. If you make an emblem, yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, you make an emblem, your creatures are all like pretty big.
Yeah, but it's 3 blockers on the ground versus 3 attackers on the ground. It's not lethal.
It's not lethal, yes.
And attacking into the Knight, you can't really do if it's not lethal because you're just putting counters on the Jitte.
The Knights are 2/2s.
Yeah, and I suppose if you're making an emblem, then your Flicker Wisps are now 2 toughness. Well, let's see what he draws. Hopefully it's a removal spell, and we'll just move on.
There you go.
Thank God.
Yeah. makes it so much easier.
Thank goodness.
Eddie Leza's going to win this game and match over Tony Lee. 2 games to 0, death and taxes. We'll take care of Maverick Leovold. Path to Exile making things a little bit easier as a team of Edward Leza, Stephen Long, and Edward Solis are going to win this match.
That was a great match. Great match.
It's fun, a little brutal.